Hey all, Tom Weller here from ForexReviews.info, and welcome to part 11 of the Price Action Traders Mindset. Well, we've gone over a lot in this series, and it's been great. We've gone over many different elements. Like I said, this is part 11. In this part, however, we're going to go over a really simple aspect of logic, and this method of logic is called the set and forget method. Now, what it means is, and to a lot of traders, and how people are going to benefit from understanding this video, is that many traders like to overanalyze after they enter a trade. Now, put your hand up or comment below if you're the sort of trader that once you enter a trade, and let's say you trade the 4 hour, the daily, or the weekly, say you enter a trade and you sit there watching it like you're babysitting it. You want to see every pip that happens in that move, right? Don't get offended by my question here. I'm trying to say, are you the sort of trader that does this, right? And if you are, don't be worried either. There are many traders that do this. They'll sit there watching every tick in the market, every pip up, every pip down. Now, there is a method to be able to control your emotions, because what a lot of the time watching every tick does is it makes you want to close the trade early, or it makes you start getting into this emotional battle inside after you've done your analysis. Like, I mean, you've already done your analysis. And let's look at a trade management aspect to begin with, just before we get into the concept of set and forget. And I'll show you exactly how that actually works. Well, first of all, before you enter a trade, you're already looking at how much you're willing to risk on that trade. Like, you should be, anyway. You're already looking at the potential reward. Is the reward better than the risk? This is an element that you should be looking for when you're trading in general. Also, how are you going to manage that trade? Is there a level that you want to lock in at break even, right? You know, what is the price action telling you? What is the overall trend? Once you've done all your analysis and you're ready to enter, you know, on that trade, once you've entered that trade, there's nothing else you can really do about it. There is two options that can either happen, right? Price can go in your favor. You can manage the trade as by your trading plan, right? Or the second option, you happen to be wrong on that move, and for some reason the price comes back on you and taps you out. There are two options that can happen in a trade. Now, there's no watching the trade that's going to actually help you get to those management levels, right? And so that's where set and forget comes in, this concept of set and forget. Now, let me go over this for a moment. You've done your assessment. You've worked out your stop loss. You've worked out where to enter. You've worked out your first place where you want to manage your trade, like to break even or whatever it is, or take off some of your profits. You've worked out where you want to consider taking off all the rest of your profits. Or you've also worked out where you want to let the trade run to its full potential and just let the trend sort of take it where it wants to go, right? So when you enter that trade, your management really should be, if you're trading the daily, coming back and checking the chart on the daily time frame the next day. So what this aspect means is you can literally enter a trade, yeah, and walk away. Set and forget. Set the trade. You've done the analysis already. Watching the charts is just going to create an emotional battlefield for you. And so this is not just a tip. It's just a concept, right? And it's also a concept that I use on a regular basis when I'm trading the high time frames, in particular when I'm trading the daily or the weekly time frame. I'm not going to just sit there and watch the chart. You don't have to. Trading is not that sort of business. The business side of trading is your management, the management aspect. Once you've done your analysis, you've worked out where you want your maximum risk. Once you've worked out your maximum profit target, or worked out where you want to be locking in at break even or whatever, that are your rule. Those are the rules of your trade. And everything in between that, you don't need to be there. Right? In fact, being there is going to cause a massive negative effect to your account. The reason being is you're not going to follow the full process of your trades, right? So I urge people to, to practice the set and forget method. Don't sit there watching the chart. Forex is not a business where you have to sit there and glue your mind to the screen 24/7, right? If you want to be trading that way on the lower time frames, like the 5 minute, the 15 minute, then yeah, you're going to have to do a lot of screen time because you're watching the trade. You could have a couple of 15-minute moves and then you'd be exiting your trade already. That's completely different. I'm talking about a higher time frame scale. I'm not talking about day trading here. I'm not talking about intraday trading here. I'm talking about you're entering on a daily signal at a specific zone, and then you're letting the trade go to its full potential. It's either going to do one of two things, yeah, be managed when the trade goes into the profit zone, or it comes back and hits your stop loss. Two outcomes that can only happen from that trade, right? And there's no screen time that's going to be able to improve that. So overall, the set and forget method gives you time to be able to do other things. Like I said, you're with the set and forget, you're not sitting there emotionally. You've got your money management, which you should be using on your trading anyway, which is risking only a certain amount of your account. You've got your trade plan. You've got your trade management, right? And that brings me on to another note. Back in early December, I released a core trading strategy series, which was called The Engulfing Trader. And that series went over how to find high probability trades on the high time frames, and also be able to trade that on basically any time frame using some simple logic and some really good price action at certain zones, right? Now, that series is available. If you do not have a very good profitable system or a strategy, that is a series that you could check out, right? It's the same strategy that I use in professional coaching as well, not just the same professional trading strategy that I use on a regular basis. Anyway, to find out more about that trading strategy, you can just click on the product in this video. However, back to my point, right? I just wanted to go over, a good strategy, because it is partly about the strategy as well. Of course, in Forex, no one wants to lose based off a strategy that is inefficient, right? And that's why I like to keep my trading simple, keep to a simple trading plan that offers a really good money management, which is what I go over in this core training series as well. And by keeping it simple, I can keep it real, right? I can keep it back to the basics, which is like, finding high probability zones, right? Looking for good PA at those zones, which is the market is offering up on a regular basis, and just sticking to high reward style trades, right? And so then when I enter a daily trade or a weekly trade, now I do trade the weekly as well, everyone, if you're wondering. That's a common question I do get asked to my email sometimes, is do I trade the weekly? Sure, I do. I also trade the daily on a regular basis. In fact, over the last few months, I have been trading the daily as one of the major time frames that I've been trading. Now, I do also trade the lower time frames. I've been known to trade the 15-minute, and I've also been known to trade the 1 hour and the 4 hour as well. I don't have any, fixed time frame that I sit to. But when I trade the higher time frames, like the daily or the weekly or the 4 hour, I like to stick to the set and forget sort of method, right? Because, I'm busy during the week. I run other businesses as well, and I've got a website to manage, which is forexreviews.info, that everyone's aware of that's watching this video. And I also have to bring out content for you guys as well on a regular basis as well, right? And so these are all elements that I have to do behind the scenes. But the good thing is trading is not a skill that you have to spend too much time on. And that's the aspect of learning the set and forget. As an example, a recent trade I did recently where I was selling the Euro AUD pair, right? And I did a set and forget sort of type trade, and it got to a 2-to-1 on that trade. Now, it could have gone back and hit my break even on that trade, right? But instead, I just entered the trade. I didn't even go back and check it after that. I'd already done all the management aspect. I didn't even have to go back and check it, really. You know what I'm saying? I did check it. I basically checked it once a day, okay? This is the daily time frame. So I check the candles once a day and just see how the trade's going, right? Don't have to sit there stressing about it, because I've already decided, this is how much I'm going to risk, and this is how much I'm going to make if I make money from it, right? And that's the sort of concept that you can build up as a price action trader as well, right? So overall, this video is just really a tip, a way of looking at the market. And if you're the sort of person that gets emotionally attached to trades, like after you place them, like some people, they'll enter a trade and they'll be like, oh, geez, the market's gone against me 3 or 4 pips. And, did I make the right assessment? Look, the original assessment that you make with that trade You need to get into the habit of sticking to it. You know, you've already just said, I'm going to risk X amount of pips. I've also got X amount of reward, or I've got X amount to break even, or X amount to the trade management plan that you're trading with your strategy, right? And so you need to stick to that. You need to keep the emotional aspect out of your trading, which is an aspect which you can go over with set and forget. Now, on another instance as well, when I'm trading the 1 hour time frame, I don't do necessarily the set and forget, but what I'll do is I can place the trade. I've done the analysis, and I'll just come back and check the charts every 1 hour. So if you see what I'm saying, the candle time frame, the time frame that you're trading can correlate to the amount of attention you have to give your trade, right? On another note, if you're trading the weekly, I mean, it's once a week. You know, the assessment is, you know, longer and longer and longer before you need to check your trade. And if during that week you get tapped out, you take a losing trade, so be it. You've already decided that risk level at the beginning of the trade, right? And you've also already assessed that the chances of a higher reward are more likely on that trade. And so your trade plan is the trade plan that actually looks after your account, right? And every now and then, of course, you're going to get losers as well. That's just part of trading, right? But when you're trading at these high probability zones, right, then it's the minority, right? So that's the habit that you have to get into, that thinking process of, okay, well, sometimes I'm going to get losing trades, and other times, you know, you'll have a set and forget trade, and you'll forget about it, and you'll check it back a week for a whole week, like as an example on the weekly time frame, and you'll come back and the trade will be like over 100, maybe 200 pips in profit, and it's a nice thing to see. It's an amazing thing to see. You've cut off that whole emotional attachment to that trade. Now, if you're trading that pair on an intraday basis, of course you're going to be aware of how the market's moving overall. But I'm just trying to give a long-term perspective, because some people don't actually have that much time for trading, right? You might be the sort of person that only has a couple of hours for trading. And so this is a method where, you know, every day you could assess the New York close, which is when the daily candle ends, and you can see if there's an actual trade opportunity there, if you've got time for that close. And some traders find this very convenient, and it doesn't affect their lifestyle at all. Like, as an example, when I'm doing the daily assessing for my trades, I literally don't really spend much more than maybe 15-20 minutes to go through over 30 pairs, and I'll skim through and I'll have a look at them all. And that's just once a day if I'm just trading the daily. You know, if I don't find any trades, then, well, I'm not going to sit there getting upset and start, you know, getting emotional about the market. Some days there's lots of trades, some days there's none. It's just part of it when you're trading the higher time frames, like the daily and the weekly, you know. And when you're trading the lower time frames, yes, there's trades every day. So, you know, this is two different sides to trading. There's, you know, there's a day trader, which is intraday trading, which is where you're trading below the 1 hour time frame and the market's moving really, really quick, and, you know, you're taking small amounts of pips from the market. And then there's also the long-term trader, which can use the set and forget sort of aspect, which is what, you know, I like to do as well on a regular basis. Okay, well, thanks for watching, people. I just wanted to share this method, this concept of trading where you can just get back away from the emotions. I guess overall, the tip and the lesson learned here, and this took a long time for me to be able to get the knack of set and forget, was that the key element here that you should take away is the fact that when you walk away from your computer and you do other things, it is a relieving factor. It's hard to do it first, but it is a relieving factor to say, hey, well, look, I've already decided, I've already made my decision of what the risk will be, and I've already made my decision of where I will manage that trade. Yeah? Simple logic. Anyway, thanks for watching, people. I hope you enjoyed this tip today, and, you know, if you're appreciating these videos that I'm bringing out on a regular basis, make sure to hit that like button. It lets me know that you're appreciating these series and that you want more. And thanks for watching part 11 of the Price Action Traders Mindset. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.